All right, you all know the story of Cain and Abel, right? How they're the first two humans to ever exist. But then Cain gets angry at Abel and kills him. And I always thought that was such a weird story, because if they were the only two humans alive, who was Cain scared of? Like, who was he expecting to find out that he murdered his brother? Like, what was going on in that guy's head? Well, it just so happens that I have an idea for a new version of this classic tale. So let's just dive right into it. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a man named Cain. Now Cain wasn't anything like the other men of his time, because while they all lived simple lives as hunters and gatherers, Cain had an extraordinary gift. You see, whenever he planted a seed in the ground, it sprouted into delicious fruit almost instantly. And when he looked after his flock, they grew bigger and stronger under his care. Basically, Cain was the original farmer, and he was good at it. Now, one day, God came down from the heavens to check up on how his creation was doing. He saw everything that Cain had built and was very impressed. So God said, "Hey, I'm really pleased with you, Cain. In fact, I'm so pleased with you, I want to give you a special gift." And Cain was like, "Sweet, a talking donkey." And God was like, "No, not that guy again. Okay. How about a magic lamp that can grant you any wish?" And Cain was like, "Ooh, I'll take that. I'll take the magic lamp." But then God was like, "Wait, hold up. This is kind of important. You have to promise to only use it for good, or else it'll turn evil." And Cain was like, Yeah, whatever. I won't use it for evil." And just to make sure, God gave Cain's brother, Abel, who was a total goody two-shoes, the power to control the weather. And then they all lived happily ever after. The end. What? No, they didn't. Not even close. Because shortly after receiving his powers, Abel started using them for evil. One time, he turned the sky green just to spite Cain. Another time, he made it rain frogs because he thought it would be funny. And a third time, which was definitely not funny, he caused a massive flood that wiped out all of Cain's crops. Cain was furious, but he knew if he fought Abel, he'd lose. So, instead, he did the only logical thing he could think of and made a giant robot out of wood and stone. And when Abel least expected it, Cain attacked. He bashed Abel over the head with a giant mallet and sent him flying into a volcano. Then, with Abel's power over the weather, Cain was able to control the elements, and pretty soon, he was the undisputed master of the universe. The end.